I'd like to go into further detail about the companies and contacts module within CallTime. As you see here, we're presented with a card view of companies and contacts. They are a combination of clients, vendors, freelancers, friends if you want to, all in one place that your team can retrieve their contact information. So right now I'm in the card display, but if you prefer a list display, you can look at it that way. If you want it in alphabet order or entry order, you've got some options here. So pretty straightforward. If I want to enter a new contact, I've called somebody about editing, so I've contacted a new freelancer. I'm just going to enter their information here. So it presents me with this screen, and I'm going to enter that person into the database. So I'm going to go John Smith, and I'm going to enter their email and their cell phone, and then I'm going to qualify them for a position. Remember, we're keeping track of freelancers or whoever, and we're giving them a position that we feel they're qualified for. So this person is an editor. I'm going to take a shortcut and just type in E, and it's automatically going to jump to editor. And just know that's a little shortcut. And then they're a freelancer. So my personal best practice is to give freelancers that are really good a 4-star. And the reason for that is it's not saying that that person is less than perfect. It's just saying that in the priority of picking resources, I'm going to put freelancers at 4, and I always put my internal team or employees at 5 because I want to pick them first. So later in work orders, these rankings are going to bring people to the top of the list. And so John tells me that his day rate is 600. Your area might be different. You might have different rates. And that his hourly rate is 75. So I'm just going to enter it there. If John has a company like an LLC, you can go ahead and enter it here. Or if you're entering a new company, like you've got a prospect and you're entering them here, you can enter their company name and all the relevant information. You kind of get the idea. Active, whether they're inactive, whether they're a prospect. If it's a company, you can set their terms, put in any additional notes. In this case, John is a freelancer. I don't really need to do anything because when I save, it's automatically going to flag him as a freelancer because I haven't put any company information. Also here is the tax exempt. So let's say you get contacted by a school or a house of worship and they have a tax certificate to exempt them. You can go ahead and indicate that they are tax exempt, and that is going to reveal an upload for their tax certificate. So it's really important that you have a copy of their tax certificate, get the certificate from them, upload it here, and then mark when that certificate expires, and you'll be able to call them when it gets close to the time. Also, if they are a company that might be renting from you, you'd want to get their certificate of insurance. Same kind of thing here. So I'm going to save John. So he's going to go into my database as a freelancer right there. One helpful thing within the contacts area is the ability to filter and search by department. So let's say I need a freelance camera operator and I need to look at my resources. So I'm going to say camera department and I'm going to see camera operator. And it's immediately going to filter my camera operators that I know. And I've kind of broken my own rule here. I got this guy rated at 5, but you get the idea. This presents my camera operators, and I want to call Mac and get his information. So it's right there. I don't have all his information typed in here, but you get the idea. A feature in here that is really good to know is that if you want to send Mac SMS or text messages, you really need to get his permission. That's kind of a new thing in the world of texting. If you're like me, you get a text from the roofing company or the landscaping company almost every day trying to sell you something. And I don't really appreciate that because I haven't given them information to send me text or permission. We want to stay compliant. So when you talk to a new freelancer and set them up, get their email. And when you enter an email here, this will light up and you can send them that email. And it's a form that looks like this. They'll get the email, they'll enter their name, their cell phone number, their email if they want to, and they will click in these areas to accept it. And then that will automatically populate this. When they accept it, that'll go ahead and populate that. You really should have their phone number in there beforehand, get it from them, and it will track through the system that way. But that's a very helpful thing to have because later in call sheets, you're going to want that. So some additional detail in the contacts area, are they a freelancer? So it automatically flagged that person as a freelancer since we didn't enter a company. But if things get turned around and they do give you a company, they have an LLC, no problem. You can still designate them as a freelancer. There's also mailing lists here. So you may want to create a marketing list. You could designate that as mailing list one. You may have a holiday party that you want to invite people to. You could do that. Some other areas here, if this is the primary contact for a company that has like 10 people and they're the marketing person that you want to make sure that they are considered the primary, you can click that here, no big deal. If you're entering staff member or a permalancer or whoever that you want to appear on the team calendar on the homepage, go ahead and click that. Now you see the signature. If this is my company that I was entering in, I could upload my signature, and that will later insert when you're creating estimates. It will insert your signature in there. Just a nice touch. You don't have to do that. It's just an option. And again, these are the positions that Mac McMurray is qualified for. So he's a camera operator. He's a great camera operator. He's a great DP. He's a great jib operator. You get the idea. And then we could also add him to, another thing. If he also did gaffing, we could add him, put in his rates that he charges us, give him a star rating, and then hit that add position, and it will go in there. So now you know the more specific details of how companies and contacts work. And the most important thing to understand about this whole module is that you're creating a database of resources that you're going to use in work orders. If they're a client, you're going to be making estimates and work orders to service that client. They would go in the customer field. If you're crewing up a production, you're going to be using freelancers, whether they're in your company or not. So let me clear this, and I'm going to go to my company. So right here, you see I have people that work within the company that are qualified for different positions. So even though I'm the source company that's servicing the client, I've got people on staff that I use, and I can enter them in the work orders.